Hometown radio stations.
Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank on WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160. Time now for an interview segment presented by our friends at Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And our interviews are also being streamed on our Facebook page this morning. So if you're watching, you'll see Aaron Lehman, who is to your screen right if you were watching. Stereo right if you're listening. And Aaron, how you doing this morning? He is with Family Promise of Indiana County. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good to see you. And you, sir, I didn't get your name.
Dave Mentzer.
Dave Mentzer. And you are also taking part in this. This is the 8th annual Ride and Dine for Shelter.
Yes.
So, Aaron, talk about how this is obviously going to help out Family Promise in a big way.
Yeah, it's a fundraiser for us, which is one of our major ones. As far as the details and everything, I'll get that over to Dave in a second. I did want to start out with people that don't know about Family Promise.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
We're a nonprofit organization, self-funded, that takes homeless families and gives them a place to stay. When you're homeless, especially with kids, there's a lot of chaos in your life. When they go into the day center, they come into the program, they have a lot of stability, and they can start thinking about the next steps of their life, which is like getting a job, getting a car, education, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, personally, well, I've read stuff and I've looked at stuff, but I really have never had the opportunity to actually see the process go through until the last month and a half. And there was a gentleman who was homeless, and I didn't realize this, but an address, a simple address, is a huge thing because you can't get, because this person didn't have any identification.
Yeah.
You can't get ID without that. You can't get social security number without that. You can't get food stamps without that, or a birth certificate.
Right.
So you need an address. And if you're homeless and you don't have an address, you almost can't get ahead. Well, with Family Promise, we give people an address. We have places where, human services can send information.
Yeah.
So that's huge. As long as they have an address.
Yeah,
and that's what
big.
we do.
That's big if that one little thing can get them back on their feet. It's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a little thing. So Dave, right? So Dave, talk to us about how the light bulb went off on this 8 years ago.
How the light bulb went off on this is just what Aaron said. People that are a family and they don't have the means to get ahead, but they have the desire to get ahead. Family Promise is the vehicle to enable that. So I belong to a Beta PA in Indiana County. It's a motorcycle group, and we have 3 functions. One of the functions is education. We do things like help with the motorcycle safety program. We do Operation Save a Life at the schools, teaching non-motorcyclists about motorcyclists. We do legislative change, so we lobby in Harrisburg. But a huge thing that we do is support charities. We support Indiana Hospital with the Toys for Tots. Mm-hmm. We support Camp Arenda, local special needs camp in the area. And Family Promise is one of our other supports. We try and raise money to help and to show them that people in the community really do want to help. Plus, we're a little bit selfish. We want to have fun while we're helping.
Well, that's the important part, I think, having fun and helping at the same time.
And the important part is the people that we help don't have to worry about where their next meal is. They can start having fun, too. So we do benefit rides. It's a classic motorcycle benefit ride. You pay a few bucks to enter the ride. We have one twist. We allow cars and trucks.
Okay.
Anybody can come along on our ride. So if you don't have a motorcycle, don't feel bad. If you don't have a Harley, don't feel bad. We are not brand specific. If you want to drive a Chevy pickup truck, you certainly can. We'd welcome you.
I could see a few people with convertibles out there too.
Absolutely, and we have 3-wheelers typically in the procession as well. So.
Okay. So it doesn't matter what you drive, as long as it's street legal, you can take part.
Absolutely.
All right. So when is this going to take place, Dave?
Okay. When this is going to take place is on. I got to look at my notes here. It's Sunday, August 14th.
Okay.
Kickstands up or take it out of park at 1 p.m. We'll have registration between 11:45 and 12:45, and we'll start at the Climber American Legion. We're asking for a donation of $15 per rider, $10 per passenger, and we'll go on a very, very leisurely and fun scenic ride, probably about 100 miles. We'll have one stop in the middle, a pit stop for refreshments, and at the end, to die for. It's a pig roast.
This is the Dine part.
This is the Dine part. So where else in Indiana County can you come to an all-you-can-eat pig roast for $15? $10 if you're a passenger. We'll have basket raffles, and we certainly accept additional donations because we all know while we're having fun, we'd like to have those people that, as Aaron said, don't have an address. They can't even get food stamps. Would like to enable them to have fun, too. So that's where your money's going.
We're talking this morning with Dave Mentzer and Aaron Lehman, who are with the Family Promise of Indiana County and their 8th annual Ride and Dine for Shelter, which is coming up. Aaron, have you been able to go on any of these rides over the past few years?
Well, actually, I have not, but I usually volunteer at the to serve food and everything.
Okay, cool.
The one thing that is kind of cool, a friend of mine who has a motorcycle and his wife isn't really keen on, going on the motorcycle because she's afraid of something happening or whatever.
Yeah.
The thing that's awesome about Dave and the people at Abate is the fact that they go through the course the day before. They make sure that there aren't any obstacles. They know where they're going to stop traffic. So it's one of the safest rides. We do stop at churches, which churches help Family Promise by hosting the families or supporting those churches. So the churches are the ones, so there really isn't any alcohol. It's just food and that type thing. So his wife actually goes with him because she feels safe on the back of the motorcycle because knows that it's really well laid out.
So with this well laid out plan, is there going to be escorts as well for this?
What we typically do is I have my road captain and we ride the route like Aaron said several days ahead of time. We'll do a last minute check the day before where we've planned what we're going to do at every single intersection.
Okay.
And every single intersection will be controlled. We do call ahead, and many times the police in the community will help us. We haven't worked those details yet for this ride, but that's typically what we do for a ride. We're going to keep you safe on that ride, if at all possible.
That's great. And, of course, safety being utmost importance when it comes to an event like this. So, Aaron, this is obviously one of many fundraisers that Family Promise holds throughout the year. I think I remember a Monopoly game a few years ago where certain guys and friends of mine from the Indiana Players, myself included, got to be the police officers. But this is just year-round stuff for Family Promise. I mean, there's always an opportunity for people to get involved to help out, whether it be at a fundraiser or with the organization itself.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we don't get any government funding. So we need to make sure that we get people to individually donate. Corporations have been donating. They've been supporting us that way. We have these fundraisers that are helpful. So, it's like all these things together make it so Family Promise can be around. And one other thing that, on another note, is we have had 6 families go from homeless to homeowner.
Wow.
So we have an 83% success rate. And we also have our POPS program, which is basically preventing poverty. So if you haven't had a formal education in school or your parents haven't taught you about finances or you haven't gotten that education, then you can come into our program. You can learn about that. And we have a 95% success rate of keeping people in their houses. So we're preventing homelessness and also, taking care of people that are homeless.
We're just about out of time for this segment, so let's go over the particulars once more. The ride is going to be August 14th. And what time is kickstands up or
Kickstands up will be 1 p.m., but we'll have an hour before that, hour and a half before that for registration at the Climber American Legion.
Okay, that's on Franklin Street, right?
That's on Franklin Street, Main Street and Climber, yeah.
Okay, and the cost once again?
The cost is a donation, so we're asking for a minimum of $15, but let your heartstrings be your conscience and donate what you feel. We typically on benefit rides go for $15 for the rider, $10 for the passenger. Most of the food is donated, so you're not even paying for the food. The money goes to Family Promise.
That's the important part, and it's a great organization to help out. Gentlemen, thank you both very much for being a part of the show this morning, and we wish you nothing but success with this benefit ride coming up on August 14th, and I hope the weather is clear as well.
That would be nice.
That'd
Thanks,
be great,
thanks for that
yes.
vote of confidence.
All right,
Yeah,
thanks.
thank you.
Thank you. Aaron Lehman and Dave Mentzer joining us on Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank, and our interviews presented by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. That's going to do it